All right. Welcome back, everyone. Appreciate your patience as we make sure we got everyone here for this official press conference. Folks, we have come now to the main event of the evening that you will see on Showtime pay-per-view Saturday, September 26th. You've got a man who calls himself the future of boxing, Big Charlo, the WBC middleweight champion, Jermall Charlo there. Oh boy, look at that drip on him. There he is. You will see him taking on the number one contender in Sergiy Derevyanchenko. It is the main event of the night. And of course, the trainer for Sergiy Derevyanchenko is a New York City legend. He is a staple there when you talk about the boxing in New York City. His name is Andre Rozier. He is with us as well. Andre, you're up first. Talk to us about how training has been going with Sergiy, especially in light of a pandemic. What have you guys been doing? And what should we expect when he gets in the ring with Jermall Charlo?
Well, it's been pretty tough getting ready for fights. Our gym circuit has been closed until recently, and now we're in the gym on 30% capacity, but we've made it work to the best of our ability. But Sergiy is a consummate professional. He's always ready to work, ready to turn it up, ready to be in shape. And he's going to be ready for a very exciting night on September 26th.
Fantastic. Let's hear from your fighter, Sergiy Derevyanchenko, the number one contender for the WBC middleweight title, 13-2. Sergiy, how has training been going? What should we expect September 26th?
Тренировочный процесс идет в самом разгаре, и мы постоянно в зале. Я тренируюсь, готов и жду 26 числа.
Training is progressing. I've been in the gym. I've been working out. I've been keeping fit, and I'm just doing everything that I'm supposed to do. And I'm just getting ready and anxiously waiting for the 26th.
And what should we expect September 26th when he gets in the ring with Jermall?
Что все будут ждать от вас, когда вы будете в ринг, Jermall?
Ну, будет такой же бой, я думаю, зрелищный и по накалу, как с Головкиным.
You can expect the same type of fight that you saw with Golovkin.
Very good. Let's get to the champion now. He is unbeaten. 30-0, 22 have come by knockout. He calls himself the future of boxing. He's the WBC middleweight champion of the world, none other than Jermall Charlo. Champ, how's training been going, especially in light of everything that's been going on there in Houston? And what should we expect September 26th?
Fireworks, the explosive night of boxing. I can't wait. You know, everybody calling this fight a test for me. It's a big step up. So, you know, I'm trained and I'm prepared with.
Let's start with you, Andre, get some questions to you. And listen, you know, I read like everyone else, and correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a quote here from the boxing scene from Andre Rozier that says, "You must be on crack if you think Sergiy Derevyanchenko is going to lose to Jermall Charlo." Tell me why the confidence.
Well, listen, I'll tell you something. Jermall has done a fantastic job as a world champion in 2 weight classes. And I wanted to tell him I'm really starting to enjoy his commentating capabilities. He's growing as an individual, and I'm appreciating that because I'm a no-nonsense type of guy. I'm old school. I'm not one for the braggadocious, you know, up there. I mean, I know that's what the young men do nowadays, but that's not my cup of tea. But Sergiy works really, really hard. He's a special individual, and I know it's going to be an incredible fight, but I expect Sergiy to be the victor. We worked hard on his capability, his technique, and we have a serious opponent in front of us. We have the world champion, the WBC champion. But we're gonna train till the very moment that we can't anymore under these crazy conditions to be ready for 12 rounds. Actually, we're training like it's a 15-round fight so that we can rise to the occasion. And I think that it's going to be explosive bombs going off. And may the best man win, but we are training to be that best man. And I'm looking forward to it because Jermall can fight. He's a big, strong young man, and I expect him to bring his A game. And we're going to have our A game, and we're going to see these guys light up the non-crowd event.
Fantastic. Thank you, Dre. Sergey, let me throw a question to you because you told the boxing scene, and I'm quoting now, this fight is going to be a great fight, but I believe that my experience and skill set will be too much for Charlo. Tell us why.
Ну, во-первых, я так не говорил, это все перекрутили, что будет очень много для Чарла. Я говорил, что у меня очень много опыта, и это будет проблема для Чарла.
Yeah, actually, I didn't say that it was going to be too much for Charlo. That was a translation. What I said is that I have a lot of experience, and that might be an issue for Charlo. I never said it was going to be too much for Charlo.
Well, Jermall, let me get, first of all, your response to what Sergey said and his trainer, Andre Rozier.
The rest of the cops will be able to tell you, man. No response. Ask me my own questions.
On my podcast, the Last Stand podcast, you told me it's not if, but when you knock out Sergiy Derevyanchenko and how you're going to do it. That you believe you can do what Daniel Jacobs and Canelo couldn't do. Tell us why you're so confident that you can stop this guy who others have not been able to.
You mean Daniel Jacobs and GGG?
And Triple G, my fault. Yeah, Triple G.
I'm no Danny Jacobs. I know Andre sitting right there, probably trying to compare that fight because he worked with Danny Jacobs for that fight. I'm no Triple G. It's a whole different type of fight. We both having a fight during the time of this pandemic, and the cops they need retraining. You know, I'm fighting against racism, brutality, and everything. You know, so like mentally, I know Andre always worried about my mental because he mentioned something about me and my brother, but he don't know that I'm Lions only forever. And you know, things like that of that nature. Like I'm been at home training, going crazy. I can't wait to fight. Like but he thinks Sergiy going crazy in training. I'm going crazy too. Like I'm at the top of my game. I'm not worried about what they saying about, you know, the level of competition. I already know this is a so-called step-up fight, right? So styles make matchups. You know, I'm using my wisdom in boxing. I've been in the competition for a long time myself. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready for whatever the challenge come. Man, y'all get a chance to see Jermall Charlo be the best Jermall Charlo that he can be. You know, it is what it is, man. Like I'm happy to be fighting against Andre because Andre wanted me to fight Jacobs. So that go hand in hand. He's been studying me and watching me for a long time.
Let me hear. Can they see
So now he get a chance to, you know, see what his other sparring partner get to do against me. So,
It's going to be a great night. Sergey, let me ask you this. You've now challenged for the world title a couple of times. Tell us, why will this time be different?
Потому что у меня стало больше опыта с такими бойцами, как Дэниел Джейкобс, Triple G, и я чувствую уверенность в себе.
You know, because I've had the experience to fight on this level, fighting with the likes of Jacobs and Triple G, just gave me tremendous experience on the highest level, and I have supreme utmost confidence in myself.
Jermall, considering, as you talked about, people have called this a huge step up, a big step up fight for you at middleweight. Now you get to do it on pay-per-view in the main event. What's the message, I guess, you're trying to send and looking to send to the middleweight division with this fight?
I'm gonna be sharp, super sharp, super sharp, super sharp.
Love it. I know there are a number of media members who want to ask you guys some questions. Chris de Blasio, let's let the media members have their questions.
Yes, thank you, Brian. Would like to, happy to report we do have Ronnie Shields on the line. We have him audio only.
Okay.
So if there are questions for Ronnie, we can take that as well. And let's go for our first one to Jeremy Herridges again from fansided.com. Jeremy?
Hi, first question's for Sergey. Sergey, in your two losses, which were obviously razor thin, you were dropped in the first round in both of them. Do you feel a need to start faster in this fight? Do you plan on doing something differently this time around?
Бой были очень близкий бой, и оба боя первый раунд как бы упали. Думаю, что здесь надо что-то по-другому делать и быстрее начать. Да, конечно, мы над этим работаем, и я буду как бы с первой секунды буду сфокусирован на бое.
Yeah, that's what we're working on. It's all part of our game plan. From the first second, once the bell rings, I'm going to be fully focused on Jermall.
С первой секунды до последней.
From the first second till the last second of the fight.
Next question's for Jermall. I'm assuming that you watched those two losses, those two fights. Did you feel that he lost those bouts, or do you feel that he was highly competitive and should have maybe deserved a nod?
He lost both of those matches. His trainer right there, that's something you should ask him. So I looked at it just what they told me. He lost both of the matches. Competitive or not, he's a warrior. This is boxing. I want him to be super sharp. I want him to give me the best he can give me. I'm cool with all that, man. It's gonna be a fight. Just know it's gonna be a fight. Me and my brother get the Showtime main event. It's gonna be a fight. Don't worry, man. It's a crazy question. Ask his trainer.
Next question for you, Jermall. Obviously, you've seen the performances. Do you feel a need to perform better than the other two men that have beaten him before?
I thought I did, but I feel like, as long as I be myself and continue to be myself, man, I just got to continue to be myself. I get the victory, and I come with my hands raising at the end of the night. I'm stronger, I'm smarter, I'm better than I used to be. I train every fight. It's a different fight. I don't gotta worry. I don't look at the fights. I let my trainer do the studying. Styles make matchups. He said in the first round, he gonna come out and get me. He gonna be focused on me. Cool. That's what he do. That's what he do. He comes straight to you and fight. So I'm expecting a real, stand. Y'all want me to go toe to toe? Trade punches and shit, right? That's what I'm here to do.
Final question for Jermall. I caught your excellent interview with Brian Custer. As far as, do you feel like there's a chip on your shoulder? Do you feel like you get?
Yeah, everybody doubt me. They all doubt me, bro. I've been doubted for years, man.
Do you feel, is that serve as an additive, as a drive, or is it just anger and frustration at this point?
No anger. I just know that, I'm sitting here looking at this dude. I'm sitting here looking at his trainer. I wish my trainer was up here because, it's still like, we gonna get in there and fight. I don't care what they say about me. I don't care what they think about me. I'm a fighter, bro. I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it, man. I'm not trying to sell no fight, making that. I don't care about pay-per-view. I don't care about none of this. I really want to just get in there and fight and show and challenge myself, man. Just want to challenge myself.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time, and best of luck to both of you on the 26th.
Thank you, Jeremy. And we can hear from Ronnie Shields. He was able to join Jermall. So, Brian Custer,
I was going to say, that's great, please? Chris. Let's do this. Ronnie Shields,
Yes.
Please give the members of the media who are listening to you, talk about the training that you guys have gone through and had to do in light of the pandemic for this fight, and what should we expect when Jermall gets in the ring with Sergiy Derevyanchenko?
Well, like always, Jermall trains very hard, and it's going to be a great fight. Sergiy is a really good fighter. Can't take anything away from him. We know he's had an extensive amateur career as well as a pretty good pro career at that. He's fought two of the best guys in the division. So we're expecting, a really good fight. But, the thing about Jermall Charlo is he's always in the gym. He's always training hard. He's always looking to be the best that he can possibly be. And that's all I can ask for from him, or anybody else can ask for him, And look, we're just looking to fight the best fighters that's out there. So, Sergiy is one of the best fighters out there. And this is the reason we didn't have to fight Sergiy. Sergiy is the #1 contender, but he wasn't the mandatory. Jermall wanted this fight. He said, give me Sergiy. I want to fight Sergiy. I want to fight the best guy in the division. So this is why this fight is happening.
Fantastic. Chris, we'll continue on with the questions. Before we do, Jermall, I would like for you to answer this, because I'd be remiss if I didn't get your opinion on what your take on what's going to happen when your brother fights Rosario, considering that's a unification fight. And then lastly, at the end of the night, because this is your pay-per-view main event debut, what will the boxing public be talking about Jermall Charlo at the end of the night?
A hell of a fight. They're going to say, that's a hell of a fighter, man. Hey, I'm the best in the world. I know Sergiy feel like he the best in the world too. So we get the clash, It's going to be a fight, man. I'm expecting a fight. You know what I'm saying? Told my wife I'm going to come home with, little things every don't worry. We're going to still shine. I ain't worried about it. It's going to be a fight. Sergiy, you think you the best? You think you the best? I think I'm the best too. So what you think it's going to be? It's going to be a fight. I ain't left the gym since February. I've been locked in. I asked for this fight. I told Al Haymon, I told Ronnie Shields, I want them to challenge me, man, because they ain't giving me the opportunity to be me. I'm ready. I'm ready, man. Let me just go and be me, get in that bitch and fight.
Sergiy, your response?
Да, он говорит, он думает, что он лучший. Я тоже думаю, что я лучший. И мы увидимся в ринге и выясним, кто из нас лучший.
Yeah, he thinks he's the best in the world. He thinks he's better. I believe I'm the best in the world, and I believe I'm better. The great thing is we're going to get a chance to settle it, and everyone will be able to see who's actually the best in the world.
Okay, Chris, go right ahead.
And thank you, Brian. Thank you, Vladimir Lick, for translating for Sergiy Derevyanchenko. We're going to go first to Andres Gomez with a question. Andres?
Hello, good afternoon, gentlemen.
Sir, we have you.
I got a question for each of our guys in the chat, starting with the champ, Jermall. Champ, we heard Sergiy saying he's ready to go, just like reverse Triple G, 12 rounds of action. We know you're ready, you're hungry. Do you see this fight going the distance?
If it go the distance, I'm prepared for the distance. If he can't take the power, then I'm going to finish him off.
Right. Now I see you guys have always been, involved in the Houston community. Now you're using your platform to, talk about social injustices. How important is your fight outside the ring as well?
It's important. I just wish that the cops that keep, doing this crazy stuff and they're not trained right. I just feel like, don't make this about racism. It's going to be a fight, in the ring, outside the ring. It's always a fight. It's a fight to stay alive at this point.
Right. Thank you, champ. Now, moving on to Sergiy, the technician. You're coming off, you've had 2 championship world title fights where they went the distance. A lot of people thought you won. Do you feel the only way the judges will give you this or you get the victory is with a knockout? Or what do you feel you have to do to, convince the judges?
Ну, думаю, что выиграете бой, ну, судьи сказали нет. Вы тогда судите, вы его остановить, и накатировать, или вы просто не можете
You gonna fight my ass off.
вы выбрать язык, как вы его накатировать, или вы...
Crazy. You gonna fight my ass.
И я буду боксировать и делать. Если будет возможность, я его, конечно, нокаутирую. Если 12 раундов, то 12 раундов. Я буду готов ко всему.
You know, I got to just stay with my game plan. We have a plan. I'm a boxer, and I'm going to do what I have to do. But of course, if there's a chance to knock him out, I'm going to knock him out. But if it goes 12 rounds, I could just do the best that I can and hopefully show the judges that I'm the winner.
All right, thanks, Sergey. And lastly, to Coach Andre Rozier. Coach Rozier, this stood out to me, man. You got two big title fights on this night with Duke Micah and with Sergey. Just how special is this night for you? Do you feel that would be challenging at all, focusing on such big matchups?
Well, I mean, it's a wonderful night. Two world title fights, two of my fighters. I'm very close with my athletes. I always have been. And the only thing, like I said, I look forward to the excitement of engagement and it's competition. Of course, it's in the paid ranks, so these young men are getting paid for what they do, but it's also entertainment that they have to provide, and I know they will. You heard from Jermall, you heard from Sergey. They're ready to put it on the line. They're ready to show the world what they all about. And then I have Duke leading it in. Duke is in a tough fight, but he's ready. He's going to put the Ghana Storm together and take care of that business. But all in all, it's going to be a fantastic night. I'm enjoying it. These guys are young, hungry. You got the Lion and you got the Technician. Man, how much more can you ask for? It's a fantastic card. It's a pay-per-view card. It's first for a few of these guys, and I know they're going to bring their A games to make it happen. I'm having a great time with it. I get to see my big bro, Ronnie Shields, all the love in the world of him. And we're going to have a good time. This is boxing. We keep it real. Yeah, these guys are going in there and they're trying their best to win and get knockouts in the whole 9 yards, but it's also a business. And we keep it business. There's no talk about this, that, or other thing. I just can't take that. It's unnecessary. And I applaud Jermall for being very, very sophisticated and sharp in his interview today. He's starting to get it together. He's going to be one of them great commentators one day. I really believe that. But it begins with these things here. So I'm enjoying the fact that they're going to do what they got. You do it all right. You do it all right. But listen, like I said, it's a wonderful time. I love every fighter that gets in the ring because it's such a hard sport to participate in. So it's nothing but love, and I have a good time with them. It's a laugh, and it's the performances that they put forth that show where they stand, because they all want to be Hall of Famers one day. So they keep bringing it. It's going to be all right. Let's get it on.
Thanks, Coach. And lastly, Coach Ronnie Shields, if he's still with us, I could feel the fireworks already, man. Do you see this fight playing out, going the distance, Coach? How do you see it playing out?
Well, during training, we train for 12 rounds. That's what it calls for, 12 rounds. We can't train for anything less than that. We have a game plan. We work on it every single day. If a knockout comes, hey, we'll be happy. But if it doesn't, then it's going to be a 12-round fight. We have no problems doing that. Jermall has been there before, been there, done that, came out victorious. So we're looking for a good, tough fight. And if it goes 12 rounds, we'll be more than happy to get a decision.
All right. Thank you all for your time. God bless you all and wish you the best going forward.
Thank you, Andre. It's very good. We got time for just a couple more here. We're going to go to Reggie Woodson. Reggie, you should be able to unmute and go ahead.
Hey, this question is for Coach Rozier. I know you have a relationship with Andre Ward. He mentioned before that he listens to what his opponents say during press. I'm sitting here, I'm trying to figure out what exactly am I hearing in some of the champions in Jermall's comments. Is there anything that you can share?
Well, I mean, like I said, Jermall has shown that he's definitely maturing. He's becoming very, very articulate, and I like that. I like that. I have no animosity for any fighter walking this planet. It's like I said, it's business. They have to get in there and they have to box each other. It's almost like family reunions, because I'm gonna see my big bro. We're gonna hang out until it's fight time. Then we'll look at each other across the ring, and then we hang out some more. But Jermall seems like he's ready to rock. I know Ronnie don't play no games. He's gonna be ready to do what he has to do. I don't play any games. We're gonna be ready to put on a world-class show. They're gonna talk about this fight for a long time, and these young men are gonna put themselves on the line to give that entertainment factor and make it like 10 plus. And we want to see all that they can give, because we want it to be special. This has been a horrible year in many forms and fashions. So we want them to bring a show that people can forget about all the bad things and think about, wow, look what those two young men did in the ring.
Thank you. One question for the champion, Jermall. How you doing, bro?
What's your question?
Thanks for speaking on, using your platform here to address the Breonna Taylor situation. I'm taking you at your word, and what I'm hearing, would you be disappointed in yourself if this goes the distance on fight night? You say you want to fight, so I don't see nothing other than that.
Bro, I just want to fight, bro. Like, I don't know what you asking me, bro. That's the, like, if it go the distance, it go the distance. If it don't, I'll do what I gotta do. Like, we boxers, bro. We here to entertain and provide the best, skill in the platform that we have. I'm able to use it, and the cops should be arrested, and that's, I stand for that. Like, we've been fighting for a while now, like, and we tired of it. At this point, we getting tired of it. Us black fighters getting tired of it too. But this fight is not about race. It's about police brutality and injustice.
All right. Thank you, Reggie. We're going to take one more from Carlos Toro. Carlos should be able to unmute here and go ahead.
Thanks everybody for taking time to talk to us. First question to Andre Rosier. Obviously Derevyanchenko has been in the ring with guys like Triple G and Danny Jacobs, and he's been knocked down in both of those fights. And obviously Jermall is a very, very strong puncher. When it comes to sort of preparing for Jermall and his power, what are you guys kind of doing that's maybe perhaps a little bit different, or looking back on those two fights to sort of kind of try your best to sort of avoid getting knocked down in this fight?
Well, I'll tell you something. The easiest way to avoid getting knocked down is not to get hit. That's I can't say it any cleaner than that, or any more precise than that. He can't get caught with shots that could lead to him being knocked down. And I've been working on him not being as slow a starter, so that he can get into the rhythm of it. Once again, both of these young men, they can punch. They both could punch. I know. I've watched them. I watched Jermall fight. I'm training Sergiy. They can punch, so they have to be on point. They have to be wary. They have never been knocked out, either one of them. So I don't expect that to be the case. I'm expecting 12 hard rounds of let's get it on. So we preparing for that. I'm not preparing him for, I'm worried about the first round or this, that, and the other thing. I'm preparing him to not get caught with anything that could be detrimental. And I'm pretty sure that's the modus operandi for most anybody that's training fighters. You don't want your guy to hit as he's scoring points. So we're going to do what we have to do to maintain that game plan. He's going to be doing what he has to do, sticking, moving, fighting. If they have to go to war, they'll go to war, but I'm pretty sure they're going to go to war and look at each other and say, we got to go to war again. But like I said, he won't have any issues with that.
Sergey, obviously with this being your third world title fight, do you kind of look at this with a little bit more urgency to win this fight and kind of get over the hump? As you kind of came in very, very close in the fights against Golovkin and Jacobs.
Ну, я не думаю об этом. Я сконцентрирован на бое и сконцентрирован на 26 число. И я буду выходить в ринг для того, чтобы забрать пояс.
Yeah, I'm not focused on that. I'm just focused on the opponent and the date on the 26th and what I have to do. And the goal is to go there and take the belt from him and take the belt home.
A quick question for the champ. Jermall, you were talking about you've been pretty much in the gym since February. How anxious and how excited are you to sort of finally just end all the time in the gym just to finally get in the ring for a big fight?
I'm focused, I'm focused. I'm locked in. I'm watching all his mistakes, just as well as he's watching mine. Like, styles make fights. So this whole time, I've been set, and my mind frame is telling me, that I'm gonna have to fight very, very hard, just like Jacob Blake had to fight. He got shot 7 times in the back, and he got up and he made it through. So for sure that I know I can do that too. I'm motivated at this point, and I just can't wait to be able to deliver something special to you guys who rock with Lions Only and rock with Big Charlo himself.
Thanks, Jermall, and well said. And thank you so much for talking about Breonna Taylor and Jacob Blake. And thanks to everyone for talking. And best of luck to the both of you.
Yes, Carlos, thank you. And thank you, Jermall. Thank you, Ronnie Shields, Andre, and Sergey. Brian Custer, you have anything? Finish up.
Yeah, I was just going to say, no, I guess no one does a press conference like the Charlos. Maul, you too young. What do you know about a DeLorean? You're too young to know about a DeLorean, man.
I'm the future of boxing. I'll bring you back to the future.
No one
Brian.
does a.
Hey, Brian, I want to know how you got it in the house.
I know exactly. I'm telling you, no one does a press conference like the Charlo. That's unbelievable. By the way, Maul, before we let you go, we got your brother's press conference coming your way tomorrow. You want to give it one word? What do you think about that fight against Rosario?
When the Charlos fight, get your popcorn ready. It's gonna be a big fight. My twin brother hit harder than me.
There you have it. The WBC middleweight champion of the world, Jermall Charlo, the #1 contender, Sergiy Derevyanchenko. Gentlemen, appreciate your time. Best of luck. Looking forward to seeing you both in the ring on the 26th. Andre Rozier, Ronnie Shields, 2 of the best gentlemen in the sport of boxing. Thank you, and good luck to you both as well. Thank you, everybody. And
Thank you, Brian.
Absolutely. Folks, there you have it. Again, this is going to be a unique night on September 26th because it is what we're calling a Showtime pay-per-view, a double main event. You've got Jermall Charlo taking on the #1 ranked contender and Sergiy Derevyanchenko. It all comes your way at 7 o'clock Eastern. That is 4 o'clock Pacific time. You got 3 fights. That is the main event of those 3 fights. There will be a short 30-minute intermission, and then you get 3 more fights later in the evening with Jermall's twin brother, Jermall Charlo, taking on Jason Rosario in a unification fight as well in the other main event. It is a night that you don't want to miss, brought to you by Premier Boxing Champions on Showtime pay-per-view. We certainly appreciate you all for joining us here for this press conference. Make sure you join us again tomorrow afternoon for the press conference, the official press conference of Jermall Charlo versus Jason Rosario. I'm Brian Custer of Showtime Championship Boxing. Thanks for watching. We're going to begin the night with the WBO bantamweight champion, John Riel Casimiro, taking on the former Olympian, the unbeaten Michael Duke. And Micah, let's bring you in here and let's start with you. I know a number of media people want to know, how has your training been going into this fight? And what should we expect when you step into the ring with John?
Okay, first and foremost, I want to thank God for this opportunity, and I want to thank my coach Andre Rose and my co-manager Keith Collin. Okay, let me come to I think I'm coming there to win. You know, this is my dream. This is what I've been crying for years. You know, from childhood. You know, I always dreamed to be a world champion. So I thank God I got the opportunity to fight best one of boxers from Philippines called Castamano. You know, I know he's a very good boxer. That's what I want. You know, this is what the fans want to see. You know what I'm saying? So we have to make it.
Fantastic, Micah. And really quickly, how has your training been? During this pandemic, how's the training been going for this fight?
Oh, training was fantastic, and everything is good. We've been training very well for this fight because we know Castamano is a very good boxer. You know, you don't have to underrate any opponent because he know what he's doing, and I'm also know what I'm doing. So that's why, you know, I'm been preparing myself to come to the ring and, you know, exhibit for the game of boxing so that people will know.
Fantastic. Thank you, Micah. All right, let's go to the champion now, John Rael Casimiro. And I see he's there with Sean Gibbons there, his manager. Champ, same thing to you. Let the people know how has training been going for this fight and what should they expect when you get in the ring with Micah?
Hello, General Casimiro. I give this fight a good fight then because my training, I'm work hard training. I know my opponent is a good fighter, is undefeated, but I will do my best to win this fight.
And how has training been going, champ?
The training is so good, and here in Burns Adam Gym, and good for the training. More time and
fantastic. All right, let's ask you guys a couple of questions. Champ, let me start with you, John. You were supposed to be in a unification fight earlier this year in April, but obviously the coronavirus made that go away. Now you're taking on Micah, who is unbeaten, but it's not a unification fight for you. Will we see any slippage in your performance considering you're not getting that unification fight that you thought you were going to get this year?
Yeah, maybe someday if I finish this fight, maybe I fight in unification. You know, this is a good opportunity for me. It's my dream.
What's your motivation for this fight?
Despite my daughter and, you know, my family, and I will do my best despite.
Filipino.
And Philippines, my country. You know.
Yes, absolutely. All right, Micah, let me talk to you. You know, this is going to be a huge step up fight for you.
Yeah,
First time for yourself challenging for the world title. What do you have to do on September 26th to join that long list of Ghanaians who have won a world title?
Yeah, this is my dream. You know, this is what I've been looking for. You know, because I know he's a good boxer, and this is what I'm crying for. You know, I'm doing this for me and my family. You know, my daughter, my son. You know, I've been crying. I've been crying for a long time. You know, I'm hungry for this. You know, so this is what I'm crying for. So people will expect, people will see a good boxing, and I think I'll give good performance, and I'm gonna bring the title back home to Ghana. You know what I'm saying? So I have to be one of the best boxers from Ghana. You know?
Micah, let me finish with this. You know, it's been written that because this is such a huge step up fight for you, that John is basically going to come in here and get a victory. How do you respond to those critics who say this challenge is just too big for you at this point?
Yeah, because they are not the one they are not in my shoes, you know. I know Castamayano is a good boxer, and I don't underrate him. And, you know, this is what I've been doing for childhood. So, you know, I love it. And whatever they think, you know, I am the one who be in the ring, so they shouldn't think anything. They shouldn't start thinking anything bad, you know. But this is what we are trying for. So I think it's not a huge fight for me. This is what I wanted. So
Fantastic. All right. I know there's a number of media people who probably have questions for you guys. All you have to do is hit that raise your hand there on your Zoom. Chris de Blasio, he's our Vice President of Communications. He's going to acknowledge you and let you ask your questions. Chris?
Thanks, Brian. We do have a couple of questions here for the guys. I will start with Jeremy Herridges. Jeremy, you can unmute and go ahead.
Hi, Duke. Obviously, this is a very tough opponent. You're fighting the champion. As far as his experience and to get prepared for this fight, have you been doing anything different? Have you been sparring certain individuals? How have you been preparing for this fight?
Oh, I've been preparing very well in the gym, and I know what I know. I've watched Castellano. I know what he's coming to do, and I know the way he fights. So that's why we've been training hard. We've been doing everything right so that we can, you know, bring the victory back home.
I know that he's been very vocal about other fighters anyway. He's been talking about Neri. Do you feel at all like he's looking past you at all in this fight?
Oh, no.
As far as what you anticipate for this fight, obviously you have some real knockout power. Do you see this being a war in there?
Oh yeah. This you know this yeah, we are all coming with power. You know, you haven't met somebody like me, so we are there to, you know, show we are like man to man. You know what I'm saying? This is a game of boxing, and we all have to come there and, you know, if you believe in yourself before you can get to the top. If you don't believe in yourself, don't try. Don't even think. You know what I'm saying? This is what we do. And
perfect. Thank you, Duke, and best of luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll take another question here from Steve Angelis. Steve?
Hi guys, Steve Angelos, ABS-CBN. Kumusta na, John Riel, Sean? Question for you guys. I feel you've been training for so long, since February. You're already getting ready for Inoue. I saw that you went back home at some point. You were quarantined. Just how has the whole training been, and just how have you been feeling emotionally, just waiting to fight pretty much anyone?
I'm so very long time to train to, you know, because the pandemic, and this fight, I'm so very excited, and, you know, and focus this fight, and I finish this guy. Yeah, I'm ready to another opponent, maybe Inoue or maybe Luis Neri, you know.
So after all the training, parang gusto mo magtuloy na lang, just sunod-sunod sila, or just
Yeah. Tatapusin natin yan lahat.
And then
Isa-isahin natin.
And this is your first pay-per-view, right? First time you're doing a pay-per-view fight?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, is there different excitement? Is it, I don't know, is there pressure in there?
Yeah, I'm very excited because, you know, this is a big showtime, and I will do my best. This is it.
Okay. Thank you, Steve. We have time for one more question. We'll go to Carlos Toro to wrap it up. Carlos?
Hey everybody, thanks so much for taking time to talk to us. I'll start with Duke. Duke, when you first got the call that you found out that you were going to fight Jean-Pierre Casimero for the WBO title, what did you think, and what were your kind of your thought process and your emotions upon hearing that you were going to fight for a world title?
Yeah, I was so happy. I was so, it's just a dream, you know. It's like you fighting somebody who's a world champion. You know, you have to be happy. You know, you have to love it, because he's not a bad boxer. He's a good boxer. So you have to fight the best to be the best. That is why I take it.
And one quick question for Casimiro. You know, I know you've been training for so long to try to get the fight against Inoue, and obviously, unfortunately, that fell through. Is there a part of you that is kind of a little bit disappointed upon hearing that, you know, that fight didn't happen? And is there a part of you that is looking to sort of send a statement to the other top guys at 118 pounds and sort of get that unification fight going again?
Yes, computer like disappointed. Yeah, no.
Yes, I'm so very hungry despite, you know, because I want to fight now in a way. And
yeah, what the champ's saying, yeah, he was a little disappointed, but those fights come and go. He's looking forward to being on Showtime, fighting Duke Micah, and looking at all the great bantamweights out there. Guillermo Rigondeaux, Luis Nery at 122. So yeah, to say it again, of course he's disappointed, but Showtime stepped up. It's going to be a big night. He's excited. First time ever on a pay-per-view this big and fighting on Showtime. Viva Showtime. Woo!
Thanks, everybody. Best of luck to the both of you. Looking forward to the fight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bless
Good
it.
luck, champ.
This is what we want. That's what we want. That's what we want. We're gonna make it.
No, man.
Okay, thank you, Duke. And
Filipino.
Thank you, Duke, and thank you, John.
Thank you.
You guys can log off the Zoom now, and we'll have Brian advance out.
All right. Thank you very much, Duke. Best of luck to you, John. Best of luck to you. It's always good to have Sean Gibbons there, the hype man for every last one of his fighters. And you can see why we put so much focus on that 118, 122 pound division. Got some really, really good fighters there and some great fights coming your way, obviously on the 26th and in the future. Now let's get to the co-main, because you have the unbeaten WBA super bantamweight champion, Brandon Figueroa. He will take on Damian Vasquez. These guys have promised what they've dubbed all-out Mexican war. You got Damian Vasquez, 15-1-1. Damian, let's start with you. Why don't you let the media know how has training during a pandemic gone for this fight, and what should they expect when you get into the ring with Brandon Figueroa?
Stand by, Brian.
We're going to stand by just for a moment as we make sure that we've got Damian
Yep.
logged on. There he is. Damian, you can hear me okay?
Yep, perfect.
Fantastic. Here, I'll repeat my question. Why don't you let the members of the media, let them know how training has been going, especially in light of a pandemic, for this fight, and what should they expect, the boxing fans overall, when you get into the ring with the champion, Brandon Figueroa?
I mean, training camp during this pandemic, it's actually been great. You know, we're doing everything by, you know, the rules and everything, staying away from people, staying away from public places. You know, we're taking our test weekly and such. And honestly, the fans could expect about Mexican war, you know. I plan on stealing the, you know, the fight of the night.
Love that. And of course, Damian will be taking on the champion, the unbeaten, Brandon Figueroa. Brandon Figueroa joins us as well. Champ, I guess the same question to you. Why don't you let members of the media and boxing public know how has your training been going on for this fight, and what should people expect when you get in the ring with Damian?
No, Brian, I think we don't have Brandon Figueroa. We lost him. So if you want to continue with Damian for a minute.
Okay.
We'll
looks like we've lost the connection with the champion, Brandon Figueroa. Hey, Damian, let me ask you a couple of questions here while we try to get Brandon back on. As you just pointed out, you said, listen, we're going to steal the show. You also have been quoted to say, I'm going to hit him with everything I got, including the kitchen sink. I'm going to show him how a real Mexican fights. I predict a knockout. Do you still stand by those statements?
Of course, I'm going to stand by everything I fucking say up until this point, up until the night of the fight. Excuse the language, but it's just the way I am, you know?
No problem. Hey, I love the fire. Tell us why. Why are you so confident?
Because, you know, I'm confident in my work. I'm confident in my team. You know, I'm just confident in the work I put in, and I know what to expect, you know, fight night.
What have you seen from Brandon Figueroa that you said in our training, I got to be careful of this. That's what he has in his toolbox that I need to be careful of on September 26th.
I mean, he got some weapons and stuff, but you know what? I know what to look out for him and stuff, you know, and I'm getting ready for him. But like I said, you know, it's going to be a full-on Mexican war. So, like I said, all the boxing and shit goes right out the window, and let's make it a phone booth fight and still the fighter of the night.
I absolutely love that. Listen, I know there are a number of people from the media who certainly want to ask you some questions. So let's bring in Chris de Blasio again. And Chris, I know a number of media people have some questions. Let them ask them for Damian Vasquez.
Thank you, Brian. Yeah, again, no Brandon on the call, guys, right now. Sorry about that. We'll try to get him back. Our first question from Jeremy Herridges. Jeremy, go ahead.
Hi, Damian. How are you doing? Thank you for taking the time. You've been very, very vocal about how aggressive you're going to be in this fight. Is it the fact that it's a championship? What's got you so heated for this one in comparison to other fights?
I mean, this is all the marbles on the table for me. You know, I ain't got nothing to fucking lose for this fight. I really don't, you know. This fight changes my life and everybody else's life around me. So, you know what? It is what it is. I'm going in there with everything I got.
As you said, you have nothing to lose in this fight. Do you think that makes you an even more dangerous fighter with that attitude? Do you think that that brings a new edge to you that maybe people haven't seen before?
Of course, you know, like I said, I ain't got nothing to lose. So why am I going to be in there, you know, go in there and be scared to lose, you know? The Payano fight and everybody that be watching it on the internet and shit, that wasn't me. You know, I had a lot of personal issues going on outside the ring. I couldn't focus completely on camping, but you know what? I got all my shit together. I'm focused now and I'm ready to go.
Last question. Obviously, in Brandon's last fight, he fought to a draw. What did you learn from watching that fight?
You know what? I'm just going to leave it at this. You know, I respect the dude. He's a champion for a reason. But when we step in that ring, all my respect for him goes right out the fucking window.
Awesome. Damian, thank you for your time and best of luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeremy. Carlos Toro, do you have a question? You can unmute and go ahead. Carlos? Okay, we'll try Andres Gomez. Andres, do you have a question for Damian?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How you doing, Damian?
Good, and you?
I'm great. I'm great. So, Chad, you haven't fought a former world title holder before in Payano. How prepared are you going into this match mentally? Did you do any changes, you know, heading into this fight versus another world champion?
Yeah, like I said, you know, when I went to go fight Payano, you know, I had a lot of issues going outside the ring, you know, so I couldn't focus completely on the fight. But you know what? After that fight, I got my shit together and everything. And now with this fight, I'm coming completely there mentally and physically.
Right now,
you're gonna see the real Damian now.
Nice. Is this your first pay-per-view match?
Yeah, it is.
Right. So what do you want to show the world about you on that night?
I want to show the world that I'm a force to be reckoned with. You know, I want to take my throne, you know, in the 122-pound weight class.
All right, champ. I wish you the best going forward.
Thank you.
Okay, Carlos, we'll give you one more shot here. If not, we'll move on. Carlos Toro, you should be able to ask your question now.
Hey, Damian, can you guys hear me now?
Yep, perfect. Yep.
We can.
Okay, apologies for that one, but just super quick. I mean, obviously you've spoken a little bit about some of the struggles you've had to deal with in some of your past fights. What have you sort of kind of taken away from the Juan Carlos Payano loss and the draw against Josue Morales, kind of taken away from those fights? Do you feel like you're a much different boxer, or at least a better boxer than you were back then?
Oh, completely. You know, but like I said, for this fight, I want to go to war with this dude. You know. Like I said, boxing gonna go out the window. I want to make it a war. I want to be the fight of the night. You know.
Does your mentality of wanting to make this of stealing the show and making this a war kind of motivate you even more so, especially the platform that you're on and being on pay-per-view in this very, very unique circumstances when it comes to this next fight?
Of course, like I said, you know, this is for all the marbles on the table, and I got nothing to lose. You know.
Thanks, Damian. Best of luck on September 26th.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carlos. Brian, I think we're ready to move on.
Well, let me just, before we move on, Damian, let me just wrap it up with this, because, you know, Showtime has certainly put a lot of focus in that 118, especially 122-pound division. We've seen Angelo Leo. We've seen Stephen Fulton. We've seen Rais Aline. I just want to give me your thoughts on the 122-pound division.
That's a great weight class. You know, there's a lot of fire going on right there. And like I said, I want to take my throne in the 122-pound weight class.
Fantastic. Looking forward to seeing you get in the ring with Brendan Figueroa. There he is, Damian Vasquez. Damian, best of luck
Thank you.
on the 26th. See you very soon.
Yep, see you guys soon.